Good morning, it's me, Convocate, on Kwak TV, because why watch crap TV where you can watch Kwak TV? There you go. Me and my guest for today was just having a lovely conversation backstage. He was like, go live, let's just carry on this conversation. So I'm going to do my normal spiel of shit that I do every morning, and then we're going to dive back into our conversation. So, good morning. If you are watching live, please jump in the comments. Please say good morning to me. Tell me what you're drinking. Tell me where you are. Tell me who you are. How's your week going? 2 days in already. No, 3 days. 3 days in already. It's Wednesday. What am I doing? Good morning, Mr. Steve Westrop. How are you, sir? So, yes, today, I cannot wait for today's guest. They are absolute powerhouse, and I use that word a lot, but they are. So I'll be bringing them on very shortly. But as we know, every morning on Kwak TV, I go through an array of different things, such as days of the year, Google Trends, weird and wonderful news, Twitter hashtags, and anything else in between. So today, and I never look at these days of the year beforehand, ever, because I like the surprise in the morning. So today is World Wildlife Day. Put my teeth in, Christ. World Wildlife Day, which is really, really lovely. It is also What If Cats and Dogs Had Opposable Thumbs Day. That is genuinely what it is. What if cats and dogs had opposable thumbs day? Okay. It is also National Anthem Day. There we go. It's the day globally to celebrate your national anthem. It is Registered Dietitian Day. Didn't realise that was a thing. And it is also Canadian Bacon Day. Yep, there we go. Steve, I like that. What the fuck? Mini Steve just brought me a Marmite hot cross bun. I love Mini Steve. He makes me so happy. Oh, so yes, anyone that is jumping on now, please jump in the comments, say good morning to me, say hello. And you are catching this via my Facebook page, Kwak Talks, my Facebook group, The Duck Pond, or on YouTube for replay, or on LinkedIn for replay. But if you are watching this now, please, you can share it far and wide from my Facebook page, Kwak Talks. That's where you can share it far and wide from. So this morning, your Twitter hashtags are as follows. Let me bear with me, it's just loading, slow internet, kids logging on for school, you know the drill. So this morning, your trending hashtags are hashtag Wednesday Thoughts. It is also hashtag World Wildlife Day. That is today's hashtag as well. That is actually number one, trending alongside World Without Nature. It is also hashtag Budget for 2021. Oh, that's politics. I don't talk politics. Yeah, ignore that one. I just realised I was like, don't like that. Hashtag Wednesday Motivation. Hashtag FFB Wednesday, which stands for Follow Back Wednesday. And anything else in between. Nope. So today your trending hashtags are hashtag World Wildlife Day, hashtag World Without Nature Day, hashtag Wednesday Thoughts, hashtag FFB Wednesday for Follow Back Wednesday, and hashtag Wednesday Motivation. There you go. I hope you got all them, because that was quite a mouthful. So Steve, he's put his Marmite hot cross bun in the bin. I love it. Absolutely love it. This is what Kwak TV is all about, people. People's hot cross buns. Just pointing that out. So today's guest, with no further ado, because I'm not going to hover about. This man is one and only, you know. He is quite quintessentially the web guy. You know, that is... Do you see how that works? That's going to be the business name. Yeah, okay. So good morning, Kirsty Hall. So like I said, with no further ado, let me get all the relevant buttons in place. Good morning, Brian.
Morning, Callum. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yes, I'm very well. I'm loving all this Kwak TV stuff. How brilliant is that?
And you're a StreamYard virgin as well, aren't you?
I am indeed. I've never been on StreamYard before. I'm thoroughly impressed with it, I must admit.
Yeah. Well, we was having a lovely conversation backstage, so I already know how you are. We're just putting the world to rights, wasn't we? We was just talking. So you're in Gainsborough, and I'm only in Hull.
Yeah.
So you're like quite a big throw, but you're a stone throw away. Like
2 minutes, that's it.
And when the world reopens, we were just saying about we actually need to grab a coffee.
Absolutely.
And actually meet up, because we're not being able to do that for like God knows how long. So it's bear with me. We've got good morning, guys. Dogs with opposable thumbs day. Watch out. Nothing will be safe from the greedy hounds. Thank you, Paul. That's what we like to hear this morning. And also, good morning, Brian. Good to see you, Paul Hancock.
Morning, Paul.
So, yes, it is fantastic to have you on the show. So, Brian, just in case people don't know who you are and what you do, who are you and what do you do?
So, I'm the weird Danish guy who's based in Lincolnshire, who walks around trying to sell people websites. That's really who I am. I've been doing it for a very long time, so I'm probably boring people to death with it. So, 25 years we've been doing it now. Can you believe it? It just tells you how old I am. So I'm an old man in a young man's game, you could say. The tech
He's 26 at heart. He's 26.
He's 64, but with the beard growing. So Yeah, so that's what we do. We do websites, but we try and do them very differently, as you have experienced yourself and are experiencing as we sort of move along in the process, type thing. So we quite like to be disruptors. We know people. We like to be naughty. So we like to stir up the industry a bit like Ryan has done in the airline world.
Yeah.
Because why does it have to be so damn expensive to have a fantastic website?
Yeah. It's one of them tools that every business needs.
Absolutely.
I hope you watch this because you'll know who I am, or that I'm on about here. I have a friend. I'm going to say a friend. I'm not going to say the job title. And what they do, they've done for many years, and they still do not have a website. Credit to them. They're very busy. They've got a very good reputation, so on and so on. However, they've said they don't need a website, and I'm like, you do. You might have clients coming out your ears. You see that because they're like, oh, I don't need any more clients because they've got a retainer. I'm like, that's great. You still need a website.
Yeah, it's not the point, though, is it?
No.
Not the point. It's what I like to describe it as is you wouldn't build a house without building a foundation for the house first, would you?
Nope.
Your website is exactly that. It is the foundation of all your marketing, because the reality is that it doesn't matter if you have customers coming out your ears. Everyone who wants to know anything about you, the first place they're going to go is your website to see what you are, what you're about, and what other people are saying about you, really.
Yeah.
It's your blueprint as a company for credibility, really, isn't it? So
exactly. And you know what? So for some people, I do understand maybe they're there, and I'm going to use the word agent for places like St. James's Place. They've got a website with them. So I say to them, but could you, in your line with marketing that you've got to have with them, could you have your own website in the form of a blog? And they go, well, why would I have that? And I'm like, content about what you do. Explaining the different. If I go with SJP, St. James's Place, Financial and Wealth Management, who I'm actually with, really good by the way. I said to them, I was like, different blogs on terminologies. What's different things? What does this mean? Put it on your website. Put your story on there. And if anything, you know what I love on a website? Love it. And I'm getting them on mine at the minute. I'm tidying them up. The free shit. Downloads. Free shit for websites. What can you put on that website for free? And it's when people go, well, have you got it? And they just send it in the chat of something. And I go, why are you sending it in the chat? Go to them. Yes, it's for free, but you need to go to my website to get it.
And I think a lot of those guys, I understand the sort of the mindset and the thought they have behind, because we've got the same James's Place website, so why do we need anything else? But I think they're missing a massive point, is that it doesn't matter how advanced technology gets, people still buy from people. The best one in the world, the St. James website webpage, it's too corporate, it's not very personal, and there's nothing you can do with it. You can't do it in it, you can't show who you are and your personality. The important bits that makes people buy from you, you can't do that on one of those, I call them umbrella sites, and it's a very common thing, especially in the financial sort of sector, is that those people who operate inside it, they're very reluctant to have their own websites, but they're just missing the point completely. It's not about selling the actual financial products, it's about selling you, your credibility as a person, as a professional in your sector. And as you say, if you have your own site, then that opens up the opportunity to give all these wonderful things away, share your knowledge, and build yourself as a brand.
Yeah. And this is what, like, if I keep going on that line of freebies, tell you what, I'm going to have a bit of a rant. A line of freebies, people go, oh, what could I use? And I'm like, right, what would make your life easier if someone used this form of document, or had this, or did this tips and tricks sheet that you've got? And one of them, let's go over accountant. They went, could you put a free downloadable spreadsheet of a cash flow on there? Cash flow forecast. Could you put one? Well, yeah. I was like, why is it not on your website? Because if they're using the one that you give, that's the one you could work with because you made it.
Yes.
It's making your life easier. And like, right. I'm like, for example, if I go on the form of accountant again, what can you actually put through your book? What can you put, what is actually classed as uniform? What is classed as market? What is classed as a business trip? What are these things? Yes, Steve, me, a rant, never. So honestly, what is this free shit you can put on your website? And I'm massive for it because, you know, I'm going to say British people, I know you're Dutch, but British people love free shit. We're all cheapskates. But like you're saying, people buy from people. If you're giving out that knowledge, even in the form of a blog on your website, people are going to eat that shit up. They're going to. You know, there's no other way to put it. But you do websites for less than the price of a mobile phone, don't you?
Yes.
Why?
£30 a month. That's it.
Why?
Because we can. That's the honest answer. And it's not really about what it costs to produce the website. It's about having an ongoing relationship, so our relationship becomes one of the long term. Because the reality is that once your website has been built, then the work doesn't stop there. You know, it's an ongoing thing. A website is like a living machine. It needs to be maintained. It needs to be operated. It needs to have stuff put into it on a regular basis for it to work, and it needs to change alongside you as your business changes as well. So by having that ongoing relationship, we're there to support you and help you and guide you to make sure that happens. Yeah. So that's why we're doing it. Obviously, it also means that we don't have 5 or 6 customers. Yeah, we obviously have quite a lot of customers. Yes, for it to make sense for us to do it at that price, but we don't think it's fair to charge customers £2,500, £3,500, £4,500 for websites anymore. You know, we used to do that. Go 10 years back. You know, we would quite happily charge clients £4,500, £5,500, £6,500 for websites. You know, and it's just not. It's not needed anymore. It's not. You know, it's not necessary for anyone to pay that kind of money to have the best stuff anymore. I think one of the things we really want to try and do, and I think you're touching on it already, is that people are so engrossed in social media that they completely forget to put all this good stuff on their websites. You know, they don't put all this content on there because they're so busy trying to get gratification through social media. We all know that there's this feeling, okay, so we put a post on Facebook, within 2 minutes, we got 50 likes. Yay. That feels awesome. It doesn't put any money in your pockets, though. Yeah. And people get so engrossed in social media and they completely neglect and forget about their websites. So what we're trying to do is hopefully we can keep reminding them, actually, you know, your website's there. You need to put stuff on, you know. It's like yourself, Callum. You haven't put anything in your blog since December.
All right, it's noted. I've got 3 blogs written. All right, I've been busy. But having a website,
the only thing comes in,
yeah. But it's like Chelsea's saying, having a website is like having a pet. You need to remember to feed it, train it, and look after it. Absolutely.
100%. The sad reality is, and the fact is that 95% of all website owners neglects it. If it'd been a pet, 95% of all pets out there would have been dead. Yeah, that's reality.
And it's, you know, there's the long-standing joke where the websites and businesses go to die. Page 2 on Google, like they do. If you're not updating your SEO, which search engine optimization, that's a video for a complete other time because that is a very broad spectrum. But in me, non-professional way of saying it, just update your website. Like just keep new blogs, like you're saying, new content. You're updating Facebook every day. Update your website every day. Why not? Like it's
absolutely. And people actually don't realize it because people get quite often they get scared about what they think they need to produce in order to do this. Oh my God, I have to sit and I got to write 1,000 words and I'm optimizing it and all that kind of stuff. Actually, it's far more simple than that. If you have a YouTube channel, if you don't, you should, because YouTube is owned by Google, so why wouldn't you? Also, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is then take your phone. I can guarantee you, if I look on your phone now, Callum, you have the YouTube app on it already.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is open up your app, record a 90-second video. You can hook it up so it goes straight into your blog from your YouTube channel. You just do your 90-second video, you press save, it's done. If you do that twice a month, that's it. Your blog's sorted. You don't need to put any more content in there. Obviously, you can optimize the text, the title in the video and all that kind of stuff. But that's really all you have to do. It's that simple. Do you know a business owner out there who doesn't have 90 seconds every 2 weeks?
Yeah, your 90 seconds for me. So this is one of the things, you know, a lot of, in particular, maybe personal trainers or well-being people say is when you're boiling the kettle, do 10 squats.
Yeah.
When you're boiling the kettle, record your 90-second video.
Yeah.
You know, when you're doing all these things, you can mix. Speaking of PTs, good morning, Mr. Robert Lee. You know, you can mix all these things in together.
Yeah.
And you can. So when you stood there, you're like, blah, blah. Today I'm recording my second episode of my podcast. Like, that's what I'm doing today. When I've got my podcast rolling a bit, I'm going to make sure they're all on my website. And you can get to them all from my website.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've got a YouTube channel, like you're saying. Make sure my YouTube channel is accessible from my website. It's absolutely, it's free and it's great. And the amount of like leads I've had, in particular, actually, when you touch on YouTube, I've had a couple of leads from YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a couple of people go, oh, I follow so-and-so, I watched their video, I'd love to connect with you, blah, blah, blah.
Here's a stat for you. This might blow your socks off because people don't realize this. For the first time ever in January, YouTube actually had a higher search volume than Google. Yeah. And this is scary stuff because on Google, there's 4 million searches made every 40 seconds. Between the two, every 40 seconds, you'll get almost 9 million searches every 40 seconds. It's mind-blowing. You know,
that's insane.
Google does this for free. All you have to do is optimize your website.
That's insane.
Yeah. Every 40 seconds, 9 million searches between the two of them.
Christ.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff. And then to take that even further, only 5% of all websites actually takes advantage of that. 5%.
Even I'm a bit like,
yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Okay.
Yeah,
it really does take a lot to make me speechless. But even I'm like, fuck me, like,
yeah, absolutely. So if you spend a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, it is honestly optimizing for it. It's not that hard. It really isn't. It takes a little bit of time to sit down and get your head into it. But once you get your head around it, honestly, it is not difficult at all.
Wow. So we've got a few comments here. So first of all, good morning, Chelsea. Good morning, Gary. What's Kirsty saying? I love people like this. I actually might be able to have a website now. As much as I would love a website, a small business like me can't afford £2,000 plus in one go. Speak to Gary. It's who does my website. Speak to Gary.
Brian.
Sorry, Brian. Why am I saying Gary? It's because I've just said Gary. Yeah. Speak to Brian. Don't speak to Gary. He does podcasts. Speak to him for podcasts. Speak to Brian. Oh, God. So, I love the fact my website is evolving as I am. Love my space. This is Gary. This is who I just kind of said.
Yeah, I know Gary. Hi, Gary. And your website should evolve with you. Absolutely.
Yep. Episode 2 for my podcast. Yep. There's also going to be another shameless plug in a minute, people. So keep an eye out on it. And Paul Hancock's like, I am boggled at them statistics. That is insane.
It is insane.
Like, I think I'm going to be sharing them statistics for a good couple of weeks with people.
And everyone should.
So, Brian, as we said, you know, I said to you today's show was going to be a little bit shorter than normal because I've got to rush off to an important meeting. So, for people to get in touch with you and learn more about this, and I'd love to get you on for a part 2 because this is like insane. They can just find you on LinkedIn, the website, the web guys, etc., can't they?
Yes, they can. Absolutely. If anyone wants to connect, website, LinkedIn, Instagram, anywhere they like.
Did I spell your name right, by the way?
You did. You did very well, actually. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't even cheat either. I was like, I think that's it. So, but Brian, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to kick you backstage. Don't rush off straight away, and I'll talk to you just as we're finished. How does that sound?
My pleasure.
Lovely. Speak to you soon.
Speak soon.
So, on the note of them statistics, my Christ, get on YouTube, people, and make sure it links to your website. And if you don't know how to do that, speak to Gary, and then he can quite literally hook you up. See what I did there? So, my shameless plug for today before anyone rushes off. My magazine is printed. Look at these fabulous people. Look at that beautiful face right there. So, Quackazine, if you would like a copy, send me a message. I will give X amount away for free. I'm not saying how many. Might feel generous today. If you would like a free copy of this magazine, all I will ask you to do is pay for the stamp. That's it. So, on that note, if you'd like a copy of Quackazine, send me a message. If you want to get on the show, send me a message. I don't care if you've already been on it. Come on the bloody show, honestly. Like Brian's possibly just got a new client out of that. Kirsty, send him a message. So come on the show. You will potentially get business from this. And a couple of people have. I do this for this exact reason. If you'd like to come on the show, please once again let me know. And you can book yourself in for a date that suits you. And then thirdly, have a lovely day. And I will see you tomorrow, 9:30. And remember, if you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, don't get caught.